Buenos días. Buenos días. Welcome back, everyone. Pump. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you, Pump. Del MU. All right. Got you. David, thanks for being a VIP. Gene, for the coffee. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. How we doing? Morning, Chef. Miami walking and driving tours. Miami, have we gotten any business to your business from the live streams? I hope so. Coinbase, yeah, sick trade, Clyde. 100%, man. Sick bit. Coinbase, oof. Very nice. Nvidia, how about Nvidia? How about everything yesterday? How about everything we talked about yesterday? That was a very spot-on analysis for you guys yesterday morning. For free. For free. How much longer will it be for free? Got a hair in my mouth. That's the question. Welcome back, everyone. Press that like button as you jump in. Subscribe to the channel. One of the Chucktown Brook. What's Chucktown? What's that? Oh, questions on X. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ty. Hopefully I'm not missing something. Stop talking like that. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. A beautiful day yesterday. A beautiful day yesterday. What happened yesterday? My eye is twitching. I think I'm looking at the computer screen too much, my friends. I looked up why your eyelid twitches, and it said it could be from looking at a computer too much, and I think that's happening to me. I got to give these eyes a break, man. Morning. All right, so yesterday, NVIDIA, awesome. SPX, awesome. The NASDAQ 21,560 level that we had very clear marked out here on the live stream was the perfect launch point of the day. Spot on launch point. 21,560 NASDAQ, channel highs, break and retest, hold above it. I mean, just could not have been cleaner. And when it gets that clean, you have to take your shot. I do have these. Am I going to start wearing these in the live stream? No, I'm not. But I will wear these maybe on the intraday from now on. I got to remember to wear them. I got to keep these out on the desk. 21,560 NASDAQ, spot on. NVIDIA was sick. AMD was sick. Just really nice plays across the board. We finally got some continuation, and I want to sort of point something out, guys. Yesterday, you absolutely, no matter if you were a beginner trader or an experienced trader, you absolutely saw that price action was just more interesting than the days prior, right? You could absolutely tell yesterday that something changed, right? And so we have to understand this today. We have to understand that when we see a day like yesterday, we need to think back and think about the losses that we took in subpar price action and come to the realization that if you just stay aggressive during days that show real price action, I would guarantee that your trading performance would be 10x, right? If you could stop yourself from being irrational in irrational markets, irrational in sideways markets, and only put on confident and aggressive positions during really good price action, you would be 10 times more profitable. I would guarantee that. Yesterday, no matter if you were a beginner or if you were experienced, you could absolutely tell from pretty much from the first 30 minutes of the market that we were going to get something, right? You saw it. And if you didn't see it, if you couldn't pick up on that, then just understand that you need a little bit more time on the screen, right, to get more experience with what you're looking at. But I could tell you from the get-go yesterday, I knew for sure, and even in the pre-market yesterday, right, we were talking about how everything was pointing up and everything looked like it was ready to go. So this is something to really pay attention to. When do I put on heavy risk? When do I take it easy? You saw that yesterday. You saw the change. You saw the shift. And I hope that yesterday makes you realize that you do not need to trade in all environments, and not every trading day provides the same opportunity. It's very important. Not every trading day provides the same opportunity. So I hope that you realize that and take that piece of advice into the future of your trading, right? And really pay attention to when it's not A+, okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and pull up. Why are these not showing up? Why? Oh, I know why. Hold on. Bear with me. We still have not gotten this to be perfect yet. There we go. Economic calendar today, 8:15. So in about 8 minutes, we will have the ADP non-farm employment change, 10 o'clock ISM services PMI. And then tomorrow, unemployment claims. Okay? So not much there. Just, make sure you're aware. That's all. Got to move over for this one. Earnings. Broadcom tomorrow, definitely big for the semiconductors. Lululemon tomorrow, definitely a big retail. And then today, MongoDB after hours. It's about all that I really care about there. Some news that came out today that really not that interesting, but I found two things that were interesting. So we'll just talk about the CrowdStrike earnings real quick. So CrowdStrike, they did guide down, which is what pretty much is causing the downside that you saw. However, CrowdStrike has come into a very interesting technical level that I want to go ahead and point out today. Also, $1 billion in share buybacks for CrowdStrike post-earnings, right? And then finally, NVIDIA, our baby. Number one stock in the stock market after yesterday. NVIDIA, you guys know we're the most bullish on NVIDIA out there. I don't know why anyone wouldn't be. But very nice. Just a little headline for you. NVIDIA now the most valuable stock on the stock market. I remember when NVIDIA was back at double digits and everyone thought it was going to zero because NVIDIA is such a crappy company. And here we are today. So congratulations if you stuck to the course and believed in NVIDIA. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So moving over to the charts. Let's go ahead and jump in today. Here we go. NASDAQ futures. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. The channel it's growing. It's growing. I think we deserve a faster pace of growth, but we'll continue to grind it away. But if you guys could, please help me. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And that's that. Let's go ahead and get started. Get the chat up. Make sure I got the chat here. All right. Here we go. NASDAQ futures. So, the NASDAQ futures. Yesterday, what was the level that we have been screaming and hollering for? Trader Kane. There he is again. We got him. Send it to your friends, your parents, your girlfriend, your mom, your sisters. We want them all. All right. 21,530, 21,560. We've been yelling this level for weeks, right? And it's really not that hard to know. I mean, it's not like I'm some savant that said, oh my God, how did Desi come out with 21,560? It's really just reading the chart. So you guys know we've been watching these previous highs, right? Right here, right here, right here. Rejection, 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 right? I mean, that's just pretty spot on, no? 21,560 NASDAQ futures. We go into the 5-minute chart yesterday. Look at 21,560 yesterday. And let's go to the 2-minute chart. And you can see even how more perfect and how clean it was on the 2-minute, right? 2-minute chart, 21,560. Look at these candles off that level on the intraday yesterday. Right here and right here. When I saw this yesterday, and if you guys were part of the Discord and traded live with me, you know we took those longs after seeing this, right? We saw this, and there is not much more that you could ask for to attempt a long entry, right? We had our exact level to the cent, to the dollar, that had two very bullish wicks and showing buying, stepping up, right? And when I saw that, I knew it was time to go. And that was it. I mean, if you just sort of knew that yesterday, you caught a very nice move, right? If you saw that flip over 21,560, understood what was going on, reading price action at that key level, it was a beautiful day, right? Really nice upside continuation, and that's really that's really it, right? That's where the origination of the move started yesterday on a break and retest over major previous rejection points. Textbook, okay? Today, we are playing around with this little area right here. If we go over to this left, right, we're playing around with this May 28th low that was created. This is back on, was that Wednesday? Yes, that was Wednesday of last week. If you guys remember that little flip that happened last week, right, we had that big upside move that turned into a major rejection right here, right? See that? Big upside move that was holding 21,700. Flipped into a rejection point at 21,700. Okay, so we can see that very clearly from Wednesday and Thursday of last week. Agnes, appreciate that. Thank you, Agnes. So 21,700, 21,700. That's very clear from last week. Now you can see we are messing around with this zone today. You guys can see anywhere between this 21,700, and it looks like to me that these lows have formed around 21,665. All right. So now the NASDAQ is attempting to hold above this spot. The NASDAQ is attempting to reclaim, well, it did reclaim, but it's attempting to hold above this little flip area, this little pivot, right, from last week. Hold, rejection. Little pivot from last week, right, that caused that major downside. Look at how the NASDAQ is trying to maintain that area today. So if we maintain 21,665 today to 21,700, I would assume this market continues higher, right? Up into 21,858, right? 21,860. And then ultimately, the next really the next level is 22,000 on the NASDAQ futures. Now, I want to point something out, right? I want to point something out that you need to understand here today. The correct move on the NASDAQ futures is this. This is the correct move. Why do I say that? Well, take a look at how this is moving higher. Previous highs, new lows, higher lows. Previous highs, higher lows. So, this is how the markets make people panic, right? You go up, you think that you should just keep going straight up and never come back, and then it comes back to the exact pullback long spot. Everyone has a panic attack, right? They say this is the top. You get a pullback back into where you should pull back to. Traders that understand that then take advantage of the next leg, right? So if you're someone that's saying, hey, let me be actually understanding price action and understand where we should come back to and not just think that the market's going to go straight up. Well, if you want to have that mindset, which is the right mindset, this is where you want the market to come back to. This is where you get that trend to continue, right? This is the trend low that you want to see get tested, right around here, right? See this? What's missing? What's missing from this chart? What's missing? This is missing, right? So instead of foaming at the mouth today and just wanting for us to go straight up, understand that, hey, maybe we still need that retest of that Monday high. And maybe if we get that retest, that could be my reload on the bullish side for a higher low to form, right? And instead of me panicking when the market goes down today, right, consider whether this could be a pullback long, right? Very, very important. ADP non-farm just came out, and you can see a little bit of a reaction to the downside. So maybe this is what gives us that pullback long, right? And so for me, I would be bullish as long as the NASDAQ futures hold above Monday's highs, 21,560 to 21,530. This is absolutely an area that I would want to look for a potential pullback long, right? That's the spot that it should come back to. If you look at these retracements, right, you can see if you pull a fib from this low to this high, this was a 38.2% retracement. If you pull a fib from this low to this high, this is around a 50% retracement. These are retracements that should happen, right? That's how markets move. So understand that you don't go straight up. If you move lower from this point, don't panic, right? Understand the structure that's in place. This is the structure point. Now, what else do I want to point out? Well, this could actually be a nice short. I don't mind this short actually today. I don't mind the short on a clear fail under 21,665. There's a very clear area here, right? Back down into the 560 that I think you could target, right? So you would be against the macro structure on this market, but could you look for a scalp short on a rejection under 665 for that pullback move? I think so, right? I definitely think so. You definitely have a clear floor here that would definitely create downside volatility if it breaks. There's a little bit of mess right here, right, that I would maybe be a tad bit cautious of, right? See this little 21,633 area? A little bit concerning on that little liquidity grab yesterday down into that low. It's, got to be a little bit careful there. But if I'm seeing some very clear fails under this low from yesterday, under this low, under these pre-market lows, if I'm seeing something that's confirming and I see some real clear weakness on the price action, that is something you could consider. Now, will I consider that trade? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. But at least I'm open to it. I'm open to the possibility of that 665 failing and moving back into our pullback long, which is 21,562. Okay? So I'd be open to both sides of that today. Yeah, it looks like you're getting a little bit stuck at these Wednesday's highs. That looks to be where it's actually starting to fail here today. So do we think that this is a level? It's possible. It's a very short-term level. But right around this 21,770, right, we can see failures, holds. When this failed, look at the downside. So do we pop a little level there? I think it's, I don't think it's a terrible idea. 21, let's put a little level there. Well, 21,760, that looks to be, yeah, look at that. So not a bad spot to be a little bit cautious at today, all right? See this, 21,770. Look at that, just reacted today right in the pre-market. So not a bad spot. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my charts. So today, for me, it looks to be channel high, channel low. All right, here's your channel of the day, of the morning. You break under 665, you navigate here. You break over 770, you navigate here. You stay in between, it's a day of consolidation. That's how you game plan today. All right, that's how you're going to game plan your day. Under 770, you have risk of rejections. Over 665, you have risk of bounces. All right? Over 770, you have continuation. Under 665, you possibly have continuation. So that's it. Very clear. Very clear. Okay. Let's go S&P 500 futures. S&P 500 futures. So first level I want to point out here is the 59.75 lows. So if we go over to this Wednesday into Thursday, this was from last week, we can see right here, 59.75 lows, 59.75 lows. Or sorry, highs. So these lows right here turning into rejection highs, 59.75. If we go to today, take a look at 59.75, including yesterday. Right here, right here, right here, right here, 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 here. What happens there today? Right? That's a question mark. You break under 59.75 today, well, you probably get the pullback that you should get back to that Monday high, which is right around 59.50, 59.53. Again, that is the correct move that should happen. You have these highs, you have these highs, you have this Monday high. You have a break, retest is what you should get on this market at 59.53. So if you get that pullback, don't panic, right? You could look for that short from 75 to 53, right, and short through this low volume for a little downside move into 53. But you have to understand that, hey, if I'm short into 53, I probably should be careful of some bounce risk. All right, let me be careful of a bounce risk here, and I'm not going to try to short through that. So for now, right, it looks like to me under 75, you can go into 53. I think that's very possible. I would watch this low volume area from yesterday, sort of just this straight up squeeze that happened yesterday, and look to see if we can get a pullback into that previous high. Pulling a fib, that looks to be around that 50% retracement, 59.53. Not bad. Not bad. Could definitely be the spot to look for. Looks like the ADP data definitely sort of smacking us up here a little bit. So that is intriguing. It's interesting. Something to be aware of. It looks like these highs have formed right around the 59.96 area. Let me get a quick peek at where that is over here on the 15. Yeah, that's like right around these highs. Same thing, 59.95 on ES. So that sort of equals our NASDAQ. That's going to be equal to our NASDAQ 21,770 today. Is right here around that 59.95 ES, which is where you can see that hit, sort of where we took that hit from the data. So 59.95, 6,008, 6,008 being this exact high here. I do not mind the pullback today to cool us off a tad into 59.53, and definitely, definitely, you could see some short side action under 75 and underneath 21,665, which you are testing right now, and I hope that it waits for us. I hope that it waits for us a little bit. Let's see if this can maintain a little bit. If not, could start navigating pretty quickly in the pre-market. We shall see. QQQ, right at the key level as well, 526.50. If I look at this 5-minute chart, you guys can see right here, previous high from that Thursday. And take a look at these lows that are trying to form, 526.50 on Qs. Under 526.50, it's possibly this high here, right around 524, but I think 523 actually is a little bit more strong, but I'll probably put a level at both. I know that 523 is the actual level, right? You can see here 523, very clear holes, 523 yesterday, which sort of facilitated this upside. You got a little, I'm going to leave it at 523. I like that much more. I'm not too sure I want to put something at this little wick high here. I think 523 is where I'd like to keep my real strong structured level there on the QQQ. For now, let's see if we can hold this 526, 526.50. These lows came in pretty much like 526.50, 526.25, right in here. See this right here yesterday? Right here. See that? This. It's a little bit elevated here, 26.50, but I'm going to keep it right there. I am curious about what's going to happen at these lows. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky thing right here, because you do have a little bit of structure around this 525.50 and this low right here. So that's going to be a tad bit interesting. But right now you can see you're starting to react to that area. NASDAQ, okay, NASDAQ is underneath 21,665. Let's see how this sort of plays. ES, okay, ES is right at 59.75 and reacting. Okay, so that level is pretty strong there, or at least it's definitely verifying a level right there. 59.75. Okay, so that's good. 59.75 is good. We got that one. NASDAQ, yep, 21,665 is good. A little bit of trailer park, right? You guys know our trailer park reference. A little bit of trailer park on NASDAQ. It's always going to be a little bit of trailer park action. It could be at, yeah, it could be the 21, yeah. Okay, hold on. I see this right here. 21,653. I'm going to keep that there. 21,653 on NASDAQ. A little bit of an adjustment right there. Right there, right there. QQQ. Yep, 526.25. Perfect. SPY. I had 595. SPY didn't even get to 595. Carlos, already made my day. There you go. Julong it. There you go, man. That's a nice little 4 points on the ES right there real quick. Not bad. 59.75. Reacting already. That could be a nice little pullback today. Let's pay attention to it. Look at that. People already making their day in the pre-market. You're trading live with me on the pre-market analysis. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. 59.75. SPY, for me, SPY, it's 595. So as long as SPY's over 595, I think you're still good here. I'll show you why 595. 595's right here. Look at this. 595, 595 on SPY. That's very clear. Let's scroll this thing over. And we can see 595, 595, 595. And today, I still think that 595 is there. So, I still think that pullback is possible at 595. What's the right pullback today? What's the right pullback today? I think the right pullback is still right here, 593. That is where you should pull back to. That is a break and retest of this Monday high. That's beautiful. Break, retest, Monday high retest, long entry, 593. That's still where you could come back to and still stay very bullish if you are trading with market structure. Lows, highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows here, 593. Okay, so even if we do fail that 595, I would be careful shorting into 593. You could look for that short between this area, right? This would be a nice short area. It's 2 points though, all right? It's 2 points. That's it. That's a scalp. It's not a, hey, I just caught the market. I'm going to call my friend and tell him to short everything because this is the top of the market. And I know that because I'm an egotistical POS. No, all right? That's a 595 break and retest, short into 593, take my profit. Let's see what now happens at the retest. That's all that is. Okay? SMH. I mean, couldn't have been better yesterday. The game plan on SMH could not have been better. It was about as perfect as it gets, and we absolutely nailed the semiconductor strength. Congratulations to anyone that's in the group. Nailed it. 236, 238, 200 SMA, 20 SMA, absolutely perfect bounce on Monday. Continuation over this high at 244.50 yesterday, perfect. And now 249 is the level that must hold. 249 is the level you want to see SMH hold. This is also very frothy upside, by the way. So, could SMH pull back to 244.50 and still be bullish? Yes. This is still a good pullback right here to Monday's highs. So if we do get a little bit of slip today on the semis, still a good look on a longer-term macro view. It might not be good for your 0 DTE calls, but it's probably still a very good bullish move. Upside supply at 252 is definitely heavy, right? So that's very clear. I don't think I want to be setting up high risk or high risk trades or large position sizes into 252 on the long side into SMH. You get over 252, you go 255. Okay, so 252, 255, 249, 244.50. Pull back long, or I'm sorry, pull back short under 249 is definitely possible into 244.50. What's the IWM up to? 210 again. Holy crap. Yeah, 210's a big boy spot. 210's a big boy spot on IWM. Once again, 210 still a problem on IWM. Pay attention to that. Dow Jones also navigating back towards its 43,000 heavy wall of selling and the 200 SMA. So be careful up there as well. All right. Let's see. We got, wow. Wow. Great job. 1,100 likes today. What is making everyone press the like button today? What is it? Tell me. What's different today? We feeling better today? Everyone's in a better mood because the market actually moved yesterday? Is that what it is? We finally got some good trading? We finally got some good trading? I was told that someone loves me yesterday, and it was clear that they only loved me yesterday because the market actually moved. They didn't love me the days that we were tough, right? The tough days where you grind it out. No one loves me then. But they love me when the market moves. All right. Tesla. What a display of levels. What a display of levels on Tesla yesterday. My goodness. Just textbook. Look at this. Look at this. These are the exact two levels that we came into the day yesterday on Tesla from this live stream. 355, bam. Break, retest, rejection, bam. What else? Break, retest, long, bam. I mean, this is just level-to-level trading on Tesla yesterday. You have a 350 rejection to start the day. You have a break and retest of 350 that gives you a beautiful long into 355. 355 rejects, fails into 350. 350 fails, it retests and rejects and causes downside. Absolute textbook. This is a screenshot and a study for all of you out there to show you that levels are absolutely the number one thing to be paying attention to. Look at the reactions at these key levels that we did not just make up today. These have been on our charts for weeks. And look at how Tesla reacts at those levels yesterday. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, what does this tell me? It tells me that these are still very heavy, by the way. 350, 355, I'm not messing with these spots, right? Especially not 355. Tesla was in full bull mode yesterday and got absolutely demolished at 355. So, 355 is big. And you need to understand that moving forward. What else was 355? A perfect rejection of these previous lows, by the way. Break, retest, fail, right? Very clear on a larger time frame. So, Tesla, not really a watch for me today, guys. I didn't trade Tesla yesterday. I don't think I'll trade it today. It's just not really a watch. It's not as interesting as the rest. You're still inside this channel on Tesla. And as long as Tesla's under 355, I just don't even think it's worth it. I really don't think it's worth it. So, the hell, why did that go up there? So, yeah, I'm just going to leave that alert at 355, and that's it. My hair is on fleek today. I need a haircut. NVIDIA, beast of a stock yesterday, guys. Oh, my God. If you guys want to see how I game plan this trade, right? How I game plan this trade from the inception. I mean, literally straight from... let me get this link. I'm gonna slam this link in the chat for you. How do I copy link? Let me go to YouTube.
To remind you that
that's loud. If you want to see how we game planned NVIDIA from the whiteboard live on the WAP live chat on the Discord, we game planned that live on the whiteboard. Then it started to actually happen on the intraday. We flip to the live trading. We catch it straight from the whiteboard, and then we swing trade it and make 100%. An unbelievable trade on NVIDIA. Probably in terms of just game plan and execution, probably one of my best trades of all time. Really, I'm really not bullshitting. We were spot on. And I would love for you to watch. I documented that whole thing, and I do recommend you watch that video. It was very good. And what a sick move. Congratulations to you guys that sort of paid attention to what we were talking about on NVIDIA. So, what happened, right? Well, I'll give you a quick synopsis of what happened. You had a break and retest of previous highs. It's mind-blowing to me that we say the exact same thing on this channel every day, and we're still able to come up with examples every day. Because what does that prove, right? For me to be able to run a live stream for now 5 years and talk about the same exact thing and use the same exact words every day, what does that prove? That proves that it happens every day. And if you can learn how to look for it every day, you can trade it every day. And you can have an opportunity pretty much every day. So here's NVIDIA. Here's major previous highs at $137 per share. And on Monday, we break above it. Yesterday on Tuesday, we pull back and we hold it. And that right there is a break and retest long. And that could not have been more beautiful. Insane move, beautiful upside, just sexy. What else did NVIDIA hold yesterday? Early morning yesterday, this was probably the cleanest, and you'll see it in the live trade. Check this out. Check this out. Look at this little PDH level. I don't have it because it's, okay, hold on, let me take this off. Check out this little PDH level from NVIDIA. The 138 previous day high area was spot on yesterday morning. Previous day high, 138. That was the spot it launched off of. Beautiful stuff. So, today, what are we looking for? Today, we are looking for a pullback to this 140. That is really what you'd want to see, right? You can already see yesterday it pulled back to around that 140, 140.25. I would look for this pullback to 140 today. If you get this pullback, I would look to see if this sets up a new long, right? Structures above this high, these lows, 140. That's what I'd be looking for. Next level above is very clearly 144. Over 144, you go 140, you go 150, 147. 140, 144. Look for a move to one of those levels. Chef, 33 months. Damn. Over 2 years. Still my top performing from 185. Let's go, Chef. Broadcom. Unbelievable stock, man. Unbelievable stock. The behemoth of them all. Just an absolute monster of a stock. You guys know we yell Broadcom here. This stock is incredible. New all-time highs. The first, possibly the first, yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. First semiconductor stock back at new all-time highs. And congratulations to those that didn't have a panic attack, once again. Back to all-time highs. Insane move. Just has been on a rope lately. You've seen it in the price action. This thing has been relentless. And congratulations, Chef, on Broadcom. So, consolidation leading to expansion, right? This is the definition. Consolidation leading to expansion, guys. We talked about this in great detail on previous live streams. We've talked about consolidation leading to expansion. So look at this chart, right? Look at the phases of this chart. Let's put a line here, right? Let's put a line right here. Look at these phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Expansion, consolidation, expansion, all right? Who loses all of their money in these periods is the problem. A lot of people can make money in this period and this period, but a lot of people lose it all when this happens. But if you can look at this chart from a macro view and understand that this is the period that you're in and tailor your trading towards that period, it's very, very important. So, today, here's your all-time high. 256 all-time high, that's what I'd be watching. 256 all-time high on Broadcom, keep an eye on that. there's probably a level here below, guys. I just don't have it. I'm just going to wait to see it react. I'm probably not going to trade Broadcom into earnings tomorrow with it above all-time highs, excuse me. I'm just going to enjoy my long-term shares, just absolutely milking the hell out of this move. If we get a deep pullback, maybe I'll get interested, maybe at 247, but yeah, not too interested today. AMD, this was a trade that we posted yesterday about the daily chart. If you remember this 20 SMA daily chart, well, there you go. A beautiful move yesterday on AMD off that daily 20 SMA. Scouting, appreciate that, bro. Thank you. And as well, Justin. So AMD, daily 20, trend break. We sort of traded this yet. Well, we did trade this yesterday. Yesterday, we took an AMD long on a break and retest above the 114.50 level. Was it 114 or I think it was 115 actually. What did we take that on yesterday, guys? You guys in the Discord should remember. What did we take that on? Is it 115? No, it was right here. It was right here. It was this break and retest of 114.50 right there. That was our entry. Yep. So break and retest 114.50, grinded this thing out pretty much all day, took profits into the move, holding a little bit over the weekend or overnight. We'll see how it can perform today. Some light contracts left. If you can hold over 118 today, you can continue higher. Is it 118 or is it this 18? Yeah, it's going to start to get heavy up here, folks. 118.60s, 119's going to start to get a little bit heavy, I'd say. Up into this 118.50 for sure. Yeah, it's going to get heavy up here. I would say 118.50's got to clear out here. You guys can see these little wick highs back here on this May 16th date right here, right here. Definitely getting a little bit heavy at 118.50. So I don't think you want to be just randomly chasing this thing into that level. That's pretty damn clear. Let's see if we can hold this previous high around the 117s. If you break under the 117s, you probably see some weakness. That 118.50 is definitely going to be a big spot. You break over 118.50, you're going 122s. 118.50 looks to be the spot. ARM, interesting today. Very interesting today. I want to see if ARM can hold above this 129 and this 100 SMA. The last time ARM did this right here, it rocketed higher and continued higher. Look at how we've reclaimed this level. 129 on ARM today, probably one of my top watches. You have the daily 20, the daily 100 sitting right below. If ARM can hold here, I think you go towards this 136 high. Definitely watching that one today. TSM on a breakout move today. Sick trade, sick move. 201 on TSM is the tough spot. I would want to pull back right here. Give me a pullback to 197. Let me see a new long there. Meta. I would be paying attention to what Meta does today. I know Meta was quiet yesterday, but that's what these stocks love to do. They love to make a move. They love to get a little bit quiet. Everyone starts to forget about it, and then it does another rip, and everyone's like, oh my God, what happened to Meta again? Right? You got to pay attention to these stocks on quiet days during consolidation. This is a fantastic breakout on Meta over 660. It's consolidating right above it. This is absolutely still a watch. I'd be very much paying attention to Meta today, making sure you're seeing if it pulls back to 660 or if it breaks out over the 673 highs yesterday. Pull back to 660 would be beautiful. I would watch what happens down here for a pullback long. I would also watch a break over these highs. This will stay on my charts all day. Meta, for sure. Hood's been a monster. It's probably going to get included in the S&P 500. That's probably why it's going up, but I'm not chasing it. But maybe a pullback to 67 in the future. HIMS, yeah, unfortunate day for HIMS. It looked really erect, and then it just sort of became flaccid. Not really, not great. 64 failed heavy and failed back under 58. I'd say this probably loses some steam for now, right? 58 to 50 is probably the chop channel that you're going to stay in. Not really too interested. We'll see if it gets back over 58 at any point here. That's what's going to have to happen. But unfortunate day for HIMS. Looked real good, but not much. Boeing for margin. Boeing, still a beautiful structure. In my opinion, you still want to be long off 208. You really can't chase this. The 215 level looks heavy. I would be looking for 208. Pump. What did Pump want? Dell? Pump wanted Dell and MU. All right, let's look at Dell. So Dell 116, same level, Pump. We've been talking about this same level, man. Still 116. Still just stuck in this channel. 116 to around, it looks like, what do I have here? Yeah, it's like 106. But if you want upside continuation, man, you got to get through 116. So what I would do is just set an alert, right? Create an alert, at or above 116, and I just let it be. MU, nice holds above the 200 SMA. They continue to hold pretty well. MU back into this channel, right? We've seen this channel before on MU very often between the 95 and the call it 110, 111, right here. 110, 111, 95 lows. I mean, looks like a pretty decent breakout move to me. I'd say next highs are really going to be your target right here. That's if markets stay strong. That's if semi stay strong, right? What I would look for now is just structure to start to form, right? Where is structure form now? I would say over these highs around that $100 level. Right? You probably want to see a new low form anywhere between the $99 to $100 level, right? And that would create a new higher low. Right? Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Hourly chart. You likely want to see MU pull back to these previous highs, right? Turn them into support and then move higher. That's what you're going to look for to continue to trust this, right? Previous high, previous high, previous highs, previous high here, 99, 100. That's got to hold. Very clear. Coin MSTR. So Coin did our move. Beautiful move yesterday, right off our 246, 245, 20 SMA. We've been talking about this Coinbase trade for a very long time, and there it goes. Beautiful breakout move yesterday, just as expected. Now here's the problem. We're moving into a major rejection point. Rejection, rejection, rejection. So 264 is definitely going to be heavy. I would be careful of that level today. Definitely could cause some pullback. Next entry point would be over 264. Right? Over 264 is your next entry point on Coinbase. Where is that on MSTR? MSTR is rejecting a very important level here, guys, and you do need to be careful of that. You can see right here at 390. 390, 390, daily 20, 390 level. I would be careful of that 390 level, right? That is definitely somewhere you want to see a break and hold above 390. APP, not much, 394, 407. Palantir, really nice hold to the 130 level. Yes, where'd my 130 level go? What the hell? Is it on a different drawing set? Oh shit, there it is. 130 level yesterday, beast of a hold. It's been very difficult to trade Palantir on the intraday. It's been very messy. I would just watch that 130 spot. What else? Let's see. Costco. Costco has been defending this 1040 spot really nicely. I would continue to watch this. Team Cost over 1040. Really defending that 1040 high. CrowdStrike, earnings downside, but guess what? Look at where CrowdStrike has pulled back onto earnings. Look at this. 450, 450, 450. Very clear level, right? Very clear level. 450, 450, 450. I would be watching CrowdStrike to see how it reacts at 450 today, even after the earnings drop. Definitely important watch. I think that's about it. Amazon, really not interesting lately. Sort of has fell into just like sleep mode. I really don't enjoy it. Snow is popping over a key spot at 212. I have an alert on a pullback there. And then finally, I mean, we can go over the foaming at the mouth trade, but it has been an incredible trade. It's CRWV. This stock has been out of this world incredible based off of levels. 115 on Monday, just insanity. We've had that 115 level on our charts, and look at the reaction off that. The break and hold over 127 yesterday, insanity. Over this high, and right there. Breakout over 127, nuts. Hey. It's catchable, man. if you want to trust it, 153. These are some short-term levels you can watch today. 153, 145, 138. Those are short-term levels. Short-term levels. These are not hourly chart levels. These are not 4-hour chart levels. These are not daily chart levels, right? Look at those levels when you look at the daily chart. They're not even there. So what does that mean? That means you need to approach them with a different level of confidence, a lower level of confidence. What's the right entry? Right here, my friends. 127, 127, 127. That's the right entry. But does it give you that? I don't know. Could you look for short-term levels? Possibly, but you better not complain if they fail, right? 153, 145, 138, they're possible, but they're definitely weaker than right here. So you have to understand that, okay? All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's live stream. Let's head over back to this area here. Move this. If you guys could, press the like button. About 3,000 people here today, 1,600 likes, not bad. This is a better performing live stream. I appreciate you guys for that. If you guys could, before you head out, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do we want a piece of advice today? What's our piece of advice today? What is our daily live stream advice? Here it is. Markets don't go straight up, right? They can't. They can't go straight up. A day like yesterday always begs for a pullback. A day like yesterday always, let me restart. A day like yesterday should give you the idea and the understanding that a pullback is possible. You just have to have that in your mind today. You saw the retest levels that we should come back to. You need to understand that. In a bullish macro uptrend, pullbacks are your friend. And if you do not embrace them and if you just panic when pullbacks happen on an intraday because you're zoomed into the nanosecond chart, you're going to miss out on continuation trades to the upside, right? So every time the market moves up, you miss it because you don't want to chase. It pulls back, you panic. That pullback becomes the best long. You don't enter because you're panicking. It goes up again, you miss it again. It goes down, you panic. It goes up again, you miss it. It goes down, you panic. You know the story. So have a bigger picture of this current market. Where's the pullback level that I would look to get a better entry for a potential long? Where's my retest level? What should the market actually do in terms of market structure? Understand the market, get off the nanosecond chart, and look at major key levels. Hopefully today's live stream has helped you find those and helps you in your trading. That's it. That's it. If you guys want to trade live with me every day, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out the link down below for the live trading. Today is a live trading in the mentorship only. So Wednesdays, we have ADR in the Discord. Shout out ADR. Wednesdays, we have a private little session with the mentorship group. So I will, for those that are watching, I will see you guys on that. Thank you guys again. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.